Welcome back, guys, to FC Darton and to the channel. 4 games into the new season. We've won 3 and lost 1. I bet you can't guess the team we lost against. Yes, Liverpool again. We lost 2-0. We deserve to lose as well. But we have won the other 3 games. Away at Bristol City 3-1. Beat Newcastle 5-3, which was a very difficult match. And we beat Norwich 2-1. We also got our Champions League fixtures, and they are here. Leipzig, Juventus, Besiktas, Nice, Milan, Bari, Real Betis, and Porto. Now, Real Betis, as a pot 4 team, is ridiculous. As you can see, the reputations here, we've not really got an easy match at all. Maybe Besiktas is the easiest one, which is fair because it's the pot 4, but wow, like that is probably the hardest one we've ever had. So I very much doubt that we will be getting top 8 this time. We just lost in the Carabao Cup to Sunderland in the first leg. We missed a lot of chances and lost 1-0, which is very annoying. I have put a couple of players in the first team now, but I'm not going to show you them until maybe the end of the season or December, depending on what happens, because they haven't really grown just yet. It's been about 3 or 4 games. But yeah, we'll get to December, have a look. It might just be the intake preview and let you know where we are in the league. I might not show you any players in December yet, unless something happens to one of them. We're back in December, guys. I have seen the preview, unfortunately. Just wanted to tell you that straight away. I accidentally clicked on the next message in the inbox, and it showed me. And it's worth the wait, trust me. So, first of all, we're 4th in the league. Still very worried about Greatrix, and I can't stop thinking about it. Every time I switch on the save, he's played a bit better this season, but I still think he's now at full potential because it says he could only improve slightly, which is a shame. But there's other good news to come regarding some other different players. We are nowhere near as good as the top 3. I would say right now, we're the 6th best team. After Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Tottenham, and Man United. Now, Man United are not doing very well right now. And as you can see down here, Chelsea are on the cusp of relegation. They have got 9 points deducted. Administration, they're in a whole world of trouble financially. So they're struggling badly. Isaac Brothers has 10 assists. He's leading by example. The Champions League table looks like this. It's been a very, very, very hard draw this time. The hardest we've ever had. I don't think we'll be in the top 8 for this one. Now, the good thing about it is we've already played 4 away matches. We've got 2 home games. One against Real Betis, who are 8th and very good. And we've got one against Porto, who are 9th and also very good. So we could definitely win both those because we're very strong at home. But we could definitely lose one and win one, and that won't be enough. So we might not get top 8 this time. If we win both, I imagine we probably will. The 3 wins have been against Besiktas away, as you'd expect. And then we beat Leipzig and Juventus narrowly at home, 3-2. We drew away to Bari. They're very good. They're top of Serie A. And we lost away to AC Milan, who just dominated us, and Nice, who also dominated us. So, slightly worrying that, because we're struggling to get results away from home this season against good teams. Whereas before, I could sort of like grind out a couple of draws, maybe even a win, but not been happening. The top 3, as you can see, are killing it in Europe as well. Liverpool, Arsenal, and City, all in the top 8 every single year, it seems. So, it's going to be a tough nut to crack in the Premier League. It really, really is. So this is Greatrix, obviously, and like I said, it still says he's got 5-star potential, don't get me wrong, and he's got 8 goals in 18 games, but it now says could improve slightly. Could only improve a slight amount in the future. So, unfortunately, we all thought he was going to be some absolute baller, like Erling Haaland style level player, but not to be, unfortunately. Now, if he only gets slightly better, we've still got a good player, don't get me wrong. But just what I thought he was going to be. I suppose you shouldn't assume, right? I suppose you should not assume. He's 19, so he's still doing all right. He can get better. He's playing all right this season, though. Average rating 7.16. He's actually getting more assists as well, so I don't mind that. We're spreading the goals around a bit better. The main one I want to talk about is Dylan Thompson. This is him now. He's 17. He's 18 in March, and he's absolutely flying. 5 goals, 3 assists. He's overtaken Hemsley. He is now our main attacking midfielder, and this guy might be what we thought Greatrix was going to be. He is rated only 4.5 because he's rated against Isaac Brothers. So that's always going to be difficult to get as good as him or even better than him. 6 foot, good at heading. He's pacey. He's got good work rate, teamwork, off the ball. He can dribble. There's not much he can't do. There's really not much he can do. He's definitely going to play for England. By the end of this season, I can't even imagine how good he's going to be because this is pretty much what Isaac Brothers did. Through one season, he was like just good enough to start, and then all of a sudden he was our best player. And it feels like this guy's going to go the same way. So if we can get another one in that bracket of Isaac Brothers, that's absolutely perfect. The other one I want to talk to you about is Gavin Coleman. Now, he came through in the last year's intake, I'm pretty certain. He started once this year, and he's had 6 substitute appearances. He scored a goal as well. I think it was a cup game when he scored. No, it was a Premier League when he scored. It was a late one, I think, to like win 3-0 or something. I put him on and he scored quite late. But he's another one that I think will be in the same realm as Brothers and Thompson, who I've just shown. Those three in attacking areas, alongside Bennett and obviously Greatrix being quite good, that's not bad. Again, it's not bad. Attacking-wise, we're doing all right. Soon this guy's going to have to go in. I don't know where exactly, but the more that I look at him with the 15 finishing, the more I'm thinking I might just have to play him up front and Greatrix will have to go on the bench eventually, because Osterfield will be 30 soon. He's like 27, 28 now, and he's back up, but Greatrix will probably go to backup. It's a really good backup, but Coleman, I think, is just going to surpass him very, very soon. So yeah, that's a plan as well we've got. No one else right now is making a very clear stake for a first team place. No one's improving too much. Like I said, I have seen the intake preview. I accidentally just clicked the next inbox message and it was that one. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to lie to them. I'm not going to pretend that I've not seen it. I'm just going to tell you that I've not seen it because I haven't, and that's the truth. So intake preview, it's a good one. I promise you, it's a really good one. It might be our best one yet. So 1, 2, 3. There you go. 5 is goalkeeper. Centre-back is what I needed. Centre-back is what I needed. I didn't really need attacking midfielders or strikers. Centre midfielder is nice. It says we have what looks to be a top prospect centre midfield. We have a forward with an attacking midfielder, at least one of our wide midfielders. That could be good if it's a right midfielder and he's good at defending. I could retrain him to right back. But I did want a defensive midfielder. So if any of these guys can play defensive midfield, maybe the centre midfielder can. Or maybe one of the centre backs can play defensive midfield. Even wide midfielders might be able to do it if they're good at defending, like I said. But yeah, defensive midfield, there's none of them coming through. Now, our header view of Bobby Hassel is 4-3-3 DM wide. So he's literally got DM in his preferred formation. In his second preferred formation, actually plays with another DM. So he should really be producing DMs, right? If what we think is right and what we try to use as a knowledge that we've got, we always say that you should sign a head of youth that matches your formation. But honestly, it's not as accurate and it doesn't make as much of a difference as people think. Genuinely doesn't. It's quite random. So he's doing a really good job, but he just can't find a defensive midfielder for me, which is what I need. Because I think going forward in the Champions League, I need to play at these big stadiums because we're never going to have the best team in the Champions League. We're never going to be in the top 5 teams in the Champions League on paper, stats, attribute-wise. So I need defensive midfielder to go away to these big teams and these big stadiums to try and grind out results to win the Champions League. Like if we're looking at it that way and we're being pragmatic and thinking about it, I can't rock up and win the Champions League with a 4-2-3-1 that's very attacking with this team because we'll get destroyed like we are doing away from home. So I need another plan. And right now that's a defensive midfielder. And I'm trying my best to get a couple of players into that mould. There's a couple of young players that I'm trying to test DM, but we'll see how it goes. Like I said, the only players that I've showed you right now are the ones that are making any headway. So it might be a case of it's not successful. But for right now, I am trying. But as I always say, when there's a preview that's really good, I can't wait now to get to March. So let's get to March. Let's see what's happening. And hopefully, this is very accurate. It's March. The intake is here. Let me update you guys on how we've been getting on. So 31 games gone. We are third in the league, 6 points behind Liverpool. That's not a problem. We're not going to beat Liverpool and Arsenal to the top 2 or even the title. Not going to happen. Our aim is 3rd or 4th. Tottenham and Man City are right behind us. We've only just overtaken Man City. They were in the title race and now they've just dropped off a little bit. Last 3 or 4 games, I don't think they've won one, and we've done quite well. The last match, though, we just lost to Tottenham, and that was a massively key match, because if we'd have won that, they would be on 59 points, and we would be on 68. So it would be literally like 9-point gap. As it stands, it's 3 because they beat us. But it was very, very tight. So that's where we are with 3rd. Man City's goal difference has taken a hit as well. We've been actually a lot better this season than last season. As you can see as well, there's a big gap to Newcastle in 6th because Man United have massively dropped off. So we're going to get Champions League next season, which is a massive positive, because last year I wasn't so sure. So that's a positive step. Isaac Brothers has been absolutely insane this season. He's taken the team by the scruff of the neck. He's basically our Steven Gerrard, and he's got a 7.42 average rating. He's got 16 assists as well. He's got the most assists, the most player of the matches. He's just like our best player. He's been the 3rd best player in the league and just carried us, essentially. In the Champions League, we did manage to just squeeze in to the top 8. We won our last 2 games. We beat Porto 4-2 and we beat Real Betis 2-1. So into the round of 16, we actually drew Porto and we lost the first leg 1-0 at their place. And I was quietly confident because I thought we could score goals at home, and we did. We scored 3, and we went through 3-2 on aggregate. The quarterfinal will be drawn in a couple of days, 3 days to be exact. We also have a message about a potential affiliate club. Now, the crazy thing is, I've been seeing some comments from you guys. You've been saying to get some more affiliate clubs and some foreign ones, so then we can get some different nationalities through. And I hear you, and I want that as well. But the board, despite us being here for 20 seasons now, the board won't let me choose which affiliate team I want and which nationality and all that. So they're still picking for me. So we're going to have a look at that and see who they've chosen. It probably won't be ideal, but let's have a look anyway before we have a look at the intake. Okay, so we've got an American team, an Italian team, 2 French, and a Portuguese team. I don't know if any of these are very, very good for what we want. So below average training facilities, below average youth facilities. That's not someone you'd pick. Let's have a look at Guingamp. Excellent youth facilities. Let's have a look at their junior coaching and youth recruitment. So they have got good academy coaching. They don't have very good youth recruitment. It's only above average. So that's probably not going to be too good for us. Firenze in Portugal, they are second in the second division. They've got adequate everything pretty much apart from above average youth recruitment. So again, it's not somewhere I'd pick. Spezia in Italy, again, it's all average, adequate. I suppose they've got good youth facilities, but they're rented. So after this season, that might just disappear. And then we've got Sporting Kansas City. Now, I quite like this one the most because they've got superb youth facilities, which is really, really important. Now, their youth recruitment isn't great above average, but I would quite like a few American players to come through the intake. So I think we're going to go with Sporting Kansas City for the first one. And then hopefully next time, as we build a couple up, they might let me do it myself. I'm not sure why they're not allowing me to do that. And every other save I've been allowed to pick. It's very strange. To the intake then. And the preview was very, very good. So hopefully this is going to reflect that. So let's have a look then. 1, 2, 3. Wow. 5 elite talents and 5 top talents. Interesting. Right. Goalkeeper, left winger, centre-back. A ball winner, but he's also a centre-back. So 2 centre-backs. Potentially a DM as well, if we can. I mean, if he's a centre-back and centre midfielder, he's probably going to be defensive-minded midfielder. So we could maybe retrain him to a centre-back, and he could be the guy. We'll have a look. And Lloyd Haywood, a striker. So that's also quite good. Wow, look at the determinations there. If you have a look down the middle list there, middle column, all the players that are likely to be signed up, so probably those guys and above. Maybe we don't sign those guys, but let's have a look at them anyway. There's no bad personalities. Balance is not great, but there's no one ambitious. There's nothing like that. So that's very good. We've got 20 determination, 19 determination, 16, 15, 14, and 14 as well. Very, very good. Looks promising. The goalkeeper's only 5'11", which is slightly annoying. The right back is 6'4". Well, he's a right back, a right midfielder, and a striker. So let's have a look at that. But first, let's start with. We shall go with Mikel Anidugbe. Miguel Anidugbe? Yeah, we'll go with him. He's from Islington, left winger, 5'9". Let's have a look at him. Okay, doesn't look too bad, but I don't think he's going to make it. He's just pace. He's got 5 off the ball, 6 composure. No, I think we signed a left winger up last year who was actually playing quite well, so I don't think I want to stifle the amount of game time he gets. If this guy was 5 stars or 4.5 or 4, I'd sign him up. But with potential being low to start with, I don't think I want to stifle the other guy because he's doing quite well. Let's have a look at Alberto then. He's from Madrid, 5'5". Let's have a look at him. Okay, he looks slightly better. But again, 5 off the ball. He's got better mentals. Technique at 15. Physicals are not too bad. I don't think... I'm not feeling him either, to be totally honest. Again, he's that left winger. We have Dion Collins here, who is improving a lot. And he's very pacey. His mentals need work, but he's got 9 off the ball, and he's playing really well. He's played 46 times this season, scored 11, 15 assists for the under-18s. And he's also worth up to 6 million, so I'm sort of letting this guy cook a little bit. I don't think I need someone else coming in and halving his game time. I think I need to be wary of that. Obviously, like I said, if he was 5-star potential or 4.5, the other guy would be signed up no problem. But when it's similar, I sort of don't want to sort of stifle him. Oran Cholton, which is a very unusual name. I've never heard of someone called Oran, but it might be sort of like an Irish thing. It looks Irish, but again, he's not part Irish, so I don't actually know. So centre-back, 6 foot, from Barnsley, which is nice, 4 stars. Let's have a look at you. Fairly professional. Okay. Okay, he's got the makings. He's got some decent attributes there, especially the mentals. Couple of physicals. 6 foot, 12 jumping reach, I like. 11 tackling. His technicals are not fantastic, but if you look, a lot of the important ones like heading, marking and passing, they're close to 10, so that can be easily fixed. First touch is not bad at 7. Dribbling's not bad at 6. You can get that up a little bit to make him sort of like dribble out with the ball, which is quite nice. And technique is 8, which is not too bad either. We're definitely going to sign him up. And we're going to work on his defending to start with, because that's what we want. If he's a defender, we want him to be primarily good at defending. But he's got some good mental attributes, so let's sign him up. I don't envision that he's going to become world class, but again, if I can get a decent little player out of him, it's not bad, is it? Next up then is Richard Benson. He's half Ghanaian, half English, 6 foot from Hemel Hempstead, left centre midfielder and attacking midfielder, 19 determination, and he's a determined personality, which is really, really good. Let's have a look at Richard. Yeah, I'm happy with him. Really happy with him. I don't know where he played just yet because I don't like the marking for central midfield and I don't like the pace for wide. Maybe he is central midfielder and we work on his passing. I don't fully know yet. Gets into opposition area. Some decent traits, to be fair. I quite like him. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, probably is a Mazzala right now. Is he deep line playmaker? Maybe. 6 tackling is not the end of the world. Mentals are very good. I think this guy could be quite good, you know, if we work on him a little bit. We are lacking a couple of centre midfielders, so maybe just put him in there and let him grow. Eventually, he might become an attacking midfielder. But for now, I think centre midfield for him is where he ends up. Nathan Marshall from Northern Ireland, 6'4", which is a weird one. 20 determination, which is unbelievable. Driven personality. Volatile media handling style, which is not the best. But there's a lot of positives here by the looks of things. He can also play right back, right midfield, and striker. So we've got a couple of positions where we can decide where he's going to end up. 6'4" as well, which would be very nice. If he's a right back, or I can make him a right back, that would be very, very good. A 6'4" right back would be insane and very welcome. Yeah, he looks good. Straight away, I've noticed he's left-footed. And he likes to bring the ball out of defence. Running with the ball into midfield positions. That trait, by the way, I did a video on traits in FM. I think it might have been last year now. And that trait is probably the best trait you can give to defenders. It will literally make them dribble into space when strikers and attacking midfielders don't track back. So if you're against a team with like lazy attackers, that is a very, very good trait. 6'4", 13 jumping reach. I'm starting to think that maybe just maybe that he could be a centre back. Genuinely, he could be a centre back. For right now, though, we're lacking for right backs. So I'm going to train him as a right back, but naturally, he's a good centre back. 12 finishing is a bit of a waste. But I don't think that he should be a striker. I don't think he should. It's a weird one. It's a very strange one. So let me know in the comments about Nathan Marshall, because this is an important one, because we want to get it right, because he looks like he's got good potential, or at the very least, he should reach his full potential, whatever that is, because he's got all the makings of it with his determination, his personality, and all that stuff. So yeah, again, Northern Irish player that can play right back. We've had a lot of Northern Irish fullbacks, so I don't know what to do with him. I don't think he's a winger, just because he doesn't have that natural pace. He could be a centre midfielder. He could be a DM, quite honestly. He can defend. He's got a bit of everything, hasn't he? He's not really got a low attribute. 6 balance, 6 off the ball, 6 teamwork, but nothing worse than that. I don't think he's a striker just because of the 6 off the ball and the 7 anticipation and things like that. He's not naturally a striker. Could maybe be a DM. Could maybe be a right midfielder. Could maybe be a centre midfielder. I don't think he's a striker. I think he could literally play right mid, right wing back, centre back, DM, and centre midfield. And even, honestly, left back, left wing back, or left midfield because he's left-footed. So yeah, that's a very interesting one, isn't it, Nathan Marshall? But I'm interested to see what happens. I hope he's got high potential. This will be a very cool player to have. But like I said, just let me know. Always let me know what you think. If I'm doing it wrong, not if I'm doing it wrong, because it's obviously all opinion. But if you think I've not seen something, I've not mentioned something, and eventually, between all of us, we'll get it right, and hopefully we'll have a team that can win this save and win this Champions League. Next up then is Chukwu. That is a very good name. I love that. Resolute personality, which is very good. Reserved media handling style. Those two together means that this guy is going to grow quick, especially if he's got high potential. He's from Morden in London. I don't know where that is, but I'm sure some of you guys do. 6'2", which is nice. He can play centre midfield and defensive midfield. So I'm assuming he's a defensive-minded midfielder. So maybe a defensive midfielder for us long term. Let's have a look at Chukwu. Oh, yes. I like it. I do like it. I also like the fact that he's got runs with ball often. And again, he could be the centre-back, the right centre-back. And he could travel with the ball into midfield. And he could be the partner to McLeod. 4 composure means he's probably not a midfielder. But I like the physicals. 10 strength at 15 is very good because that grows quick. Strength grows very quick. Natural fitness being high is really nice. Obviously, we have to work on his pace, which we will do. I think we'll start working on his pace straight away, or we might work on his defending just to get that up a little bit, position it up to 12 or 13, and then hopefully he can play some sort of matches. But I'm very excited for Chukwu. He looks very, very good. 13 technique as well to add to that. 60 determination. This looks good. This looks really, really good. We'll sign him up. Absolutely. I'm very, very, very excited about Chukwu. Wow, he wants a lot of money as well. That's a good sign. Give him 10 grand. At 15 years old is mad. Consistent as well. Good in the air. Yeah, okay. This already made it sort of worth it already without looking at the other guys above him. Chris Dobson then is next up. He's also a centre-back, but he can also play DM and left-back. 6'1", fairly ambitious, which is another good personality, and he's 5-star potential. We've got 4 players at 5-star potential, which is amazing. Let's have a look at Chris. 15 tackling straight off the bat. 11 passing. Again, looks good. He might be the DM because obviously he's a left-footed centre-back primarily, and we've got McLeod and he's not going anywhere. So he might be the DM. Got good aggression for DM. He's not got the best vision, but he's got good teamwork in there so he can just like win the ball, intercept the ball. We'll have to work on his anticipation as well. His physical need a little bit of work, but they'll grow out with his age. I love the Mohawk. He's sort of repping it because Nicholson's gone now. So we've got a Mohawk back in the team. And this looks good, guys. It does. And we've got 3 more players as well that are 5 stars on top of what we've already got. So this could be a very special intake where we look back on and think this is the one that won us the Champions League and the Premier League. I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but I'm really excited for this one right now. So he's in. Let's have a look at Lloyd Hayward. He's from Stroud. I don't know where Stroud is. Fairly determined. 5 stars again. A left winger and striker. We do need backup to Bennett on that left wing. So let's have a look at Hayward. Wow, he looks good. And I also like the fact that he's 6 foot. He's not the paciest, so I think he's a striker, is Hayward. I do think he's a striker. He can play deep line forward, which is really nice. 15 work rate, 14 teamwork. His mentals are insane for a 15-year-old. We'll have to work on his pace, but this guy might be special. I don't want to get too carried away, like I said before, because we got Greatrix through. I thought he was going to become Pele, and he wasn't. So let's keep our expectations a bit tempered down. But for right now, he looks really, really good. Look at that as well. He's got consistency, dark green. We've also got injury prone, which is not good. But the dark green consistency gives me a lot of hope. Let's give him 5,000 a week because I'm not tight. And we've got loads of money. We've about 500 million in the bank now. So that's why I've not been showing the finances. We don't need to see them. You guys know the Premiership is ridiculous for money. So he's down. Hayden Hartlebury. Hayden Hartlebury. What a name. Balanced personality. So that's probably the worst one out of the top bunch, which can't be helped. He's better than unambitious. Outspoken, he's not the greatest. That means his controversy is quite high. Doesn't mean that he can't fulfill that potential. So let's have a look at Hayden. He's an attacking midfield left and centre. And he's definitely more of a winger because I'm seeing high attributes up here. 12 crossing, 10 dribbling, rather than passing and other things like composure. He's got the pace as well. So I think he's a left winger. He's got good finishing. So we could maybe convert him into an inside forward, which would be quite nice. Left-footed, gets into opposition area, which is also good. Mentals need work, which we're going to work on straight away. We're going to work his off-the-ball decision-making and anticipation. And he is the guy that will probably cut the other guy's minutes down, like I said. But it's fine because Hartlebury's got 5-star potential. That changes the entire landscape of that. So there's no point signing the other guys up at the start of this intake because that's another person vying for Hartlebury's minutes. And I want this guy to get minutes. So He's going to be signed up as well. His consistency is orange, which isn't ideal, but it's fine. That can be changed over time. Give him 8,000 a week. There we go. 15-year-old on 8,000. What is happening? Right, so top one, Christopher Riley, goalkeeper, but he's only 5'11". It doesn't mean he's not going to be good, but I wish he was 6'2" or 6'3". So let's have a look at Christopher Riley. He's got some good attributes. Straight away, communication, command of area, reflexes at 14 straight away, good positioning, good determination. I do like the acceleration and pace for coming off his line as well. Sweeper keeper, not really got a bad attribute as in really. 6 first touch, but that's still quite good for a goalkeeper. We've got 9 technique, which is nice, so he can play with the ball a little bit. Passing 7, not too bad at all. Even his mentals that aren't quite good just yet, the 7, 8 and 9s, so that can be easily trained. Agility at 10 can be trained. I don't know how good he's going to be, but we do have a couple of good goalkeepers now. We should be all right. Let's get him signed up. And I think, honestly, for where we are at in the save, that has to be a 9.5. The only reason it's not a 10 is because there's not an absolute guaranteed worldie. Like, someone's not come through with 2.5 stars, like a Wayne Rooney wonder kid type. Like, straight away, 16, bang, first team. I'm going to save that for if that does ever happen, and then I can give an intake a 10 out of 10. But for now, I think this is a 9.5. Probably 9.7, 9.8 actually. I'm probably being a little bit harsh with 9.5. Let me know what you think. As always, I'm going to crack on. We're going to get the Champions League draw done. I'll show you who we've got in the quarterfinals. We've got Man City in 18 days, so we've got a nice bit of rest because we've been having the game every 3 days now for a couple of months, and a couple of players are tired, so that's very welcome. We're not going to win the league. We've been knocked out of both cups, so this year, the aim is just the Champions League. Champions League quarterfinal draw, and Josko Gvardiol is the ceremony host this time. I think last year was Pedri. We've also had Alex Longbottom, that was my ex-player. I don't understand how that works. It's just someone random. Here are the teams then. There's 8 teams. There's Arsenal, Liverpool, City, as you'd expect, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and then Milan, Benfica, and us. It's stacked. We need Benfica out of these guys. That would be fantastic. There's no PSG, though, or Bayern Munich, which is really good, and Inter Milan. Those 3 teams are missing. And Tottenham aren't there either, which is also very good. So first one out is City. We really do not want this. That is perfect. That is perfect. If Liverpool can now get Real Madrid or Barcelona, that would be fantastic. This one. This is what we want. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Barcelona. We don't want this. We've got Liverpool. Oh, no. We might be out in the quarters this year, guys. We shall see. Our past meetings with Liverpool, actually, we have been the better, which I did not realise. I think it's because lately we've not beat them in about 8 games. I forgot how good we were against them, actually. When we first came up into the Premier League, we were amazing against them. We actually didn't lose in about 10 matches, but we've now not won in 10 matches. And that's probably why I've been thinking about it, the biasness, the recency bias, we'll call it, right? 5 wins, 5 losses, 8 draws, and we've got +4. They've got -4 goal difference. So actually, it's not looking good for our favour right now, but there's hope that once upon a time, we were quite good against them. They have got a better team, though, now, and they are playing better, so it's going to be very, very tough. If we can keep the away leg, as always, down to a 1-goal defeat or a draw, then I'm quietly confident against everyone at home. It's just if we can do the first leg away from home well. And if we beat Liverpool, this is who we'll get. So will we get Man City or Arsenal? No, we won't. It'll be the El Clasico, Barcelona or Madrid. That is who we will play in the semi-final if we get past Liverpool. Just quickly, guys, going back to the youth intake message, and it says at the top, whisper it quietly, but this could be a so-called golden generation with Chukwu, the diamond, in a very strong group of players. Now, as you can see, Chukwu, fantastic name, is actually a 4.5 star initially out of 5. So he's in the elite talent crop, but the other guys around him are 5 stars. But it's saying that he is the diamond in a very strong group. Now, we've signed him up, and he's instantly worth between 14 million and 18.5. And there's a couple of those actually. So if we click on them, Christopher Riley's also worth between 9 and 12. Hayden Hartlebury is worth between 9 and 15 million. Lloyd Haywood is between 11 and 15 million. And Chris Dobson is between 6.4 and 9.6 million. And also from the top talents, Nathan Marshall, the guy we're not quite sure about just yet, is also worth between 6.6 and 10.5. So as you can see, Chukwu is worth the most despite not being 5-star potential, and the message says that he is the diamond. Now that usually is a nice little guide to letting you know, because it did say that Coleman, when he came through, was the diamond, and he is proving to be a diamond. It also said that Thompson was the diamond when he came through, and he's now in the first team, also showing that he actually is the diamond of that intake. So I've got very high hopes for this guy, and I'm really, really hoping that he proves us right. And now I also understand that because of the positions he plays in, he is going to be either rated up against McLeod at centre-back or Brothers at centre midfield. So I do understand why his potential ability might be a bit lower, and that is probably the reason. Play like this in those positions could be a lot higher potential out of 200, but his potential ability might show us less because he's rated against those guys. So I'm not too worried about the fact that he's not 5-star potential. All I want is for him to grow and quickly, because we need to fill that right centre-back spot. And I do think that this guy is the one. Now, if we can sort of get him this next couple of months decent, we can promote him to the first team. I can get a couple of players out. For example, if you look at the first team here, we have got... what have we got? Who have we got? We've got Bennett. Bennett needs to go very soon. It's not that he's on 45 grand. I don't really mind about that. But he's not playing. He wants to leave. He's extremely poor. And he's just not playing games. There's no point in him playing games. He's been amazing for so long. If you have a look at him, he's still quite good. He's got a professional personality, so I would like to keep him. But he wants to leave. He's not played at all this season. He's come off the bench 3 times in all competitions. And there's just no need for him now. He's been amazing. He's been with us since the National League North, and he's just played unbelievably till the Premier League. Like, he's genuinely averaged over a 7 in the Premier League 3 or 4 times, and his best season ever, arguably, was actually in the Premier League. So this guy has just been an absolute legend. I don't know why he's not on the Legends list. He definitely should be. He's done more for us than McDonald, in my opinion. But it's just the game works, right? So I don't understand it. But Jake Bennett, I don't want to let him leave. I'm holding on to him because I don't want to let him leave because I have an attachment to him. But he sort of does have to leave. If I can manage to keep him, and I can keep him sort of until he retires and then make him an under-18s coach, I would prefer that. Like I said, the wages doesn't matter to me. It's just that he wants to leave, so he won't sign a new contract. Charlie Mawson as well, he's 30 now, he's on the transfer list, he wants to leave too, so I've allowed him to leave, or I'm trying to allow him to leave. No one wants him. Again, another one came through in the National League. To start with, I wasn't quite sure, and then all of a sudden I played him in League 2, and he was really, really good, averaging what? I mean, he's averaged over a 7 in the Premier League 3 times there. Just very good player, just very one-dimensional, very run down the right wing and cross the ball in, but he was fantastic at it, and he's produced some ridiculous performances despite his attributes never being Premier League level. Also looks like Louis Culkin eventually might have to leave. Now, actually, he looks quite decent, and I know he is, and he's played really well for a long time. He came through at League 1, so he's not played as many times, but he was a big hope for me at one point, and then he just stopped progressing, a little bit like Greatrix has done. So I don't think I'm going to actively try and sell him, because he's a nice backup. He's a nice... if we get a bit of injuries, he's fine to throw in. He's good. But there's no point in playing him right now because there's no need, as he's got no potential. In the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final at Anfield, we got a 2-2 draw. We were the worst team. We scored with both shots on target. We went 2-0 down as well, so it was a very good comeback. Very good result in the first leg. In the second leg, we unfortunately went out. 84th minute winner for Liverpool. We didn't play well. They've got the best team in the world, probably, definitely top 3. And after the 2-2 draw, I genuinely thought we would get through and be in another semi-final. But this year it's not to be. Hopefully next year. The Premier League table, though, ended like this. We finished in 4th this year, 2 points in front of Tottenham. We would have got Champions League in 5th anyway. There was a big gap to 6th, which is very, very good. Better than last season. Still not where I want to be, but better than last season. If we look at the season preview as well, we are still down here in terms of squad quality, because all these teams up here, there's so much money in this league for every single team that teams either jump above us, pushing us back down, or they increase the size of the gap because they just get better and better and better because of the money they've got. So it's very, very tough to be able to compete with these teams by playing young players. But then also, once we're playing our first team, it's also hard to compete with the top team. So it's a difficult spot. It's a very difficult spot. The intake in this video, though, might go a long way into helping us bridge a bit of that gap. We only need to get to about 50-1, probably, to have a real shot at the title. We don't need a team at the top 4. We don't need a team in the top 4 to win the title. Bristol City's reputation, by the way, is massive because they've got a tycoon. They are not that good. That is why they're 5th in this list. They've got some good players, don't get me wrong, but they've got a tycoon. So they might eventually be actually that good because they've got a lot of money. But right now, that is purely just rep. We did score 94 goals, the second highest in the league to Liverpool. We did concede 50, and now that is the problem. That is the most in the top 7, so that is something. But we already knew that right anyway. We already knew that. Hopefully, the intake we've just had has got a couple of players that can plug those gaps in the next couple of seasons, and then, potentially, we could win a title. Right now, Liverpool are proving very hard to beat for everyone. Not losing many games, scoring a lot of goals, not conceding many, and just being the team to beat. If we have a look at goals scored this season, then in the top right-hand side, Isaac Brothers got 20 goals and 24 assists. He is by far and away our best player. Just an absolute legend for us. Greatrix there, he got 15 goals, 8 assists. We are no longer... The problem is we no longer have Osterfield's 40-goal seasons to help us through. That's the problem. Now, if I played Osterfield every single game, he'd probably get 30 because he's the best goal scorer in the entire squad. But I'm still holding out hope that Greatrix can become slightly better than he is because he's never going to become world class now. I know that. If we click on him, he's still the same as before. If we go to his report, it says potentially Premier League standard, but for this entire season, it said it could only slightly improve. So I do know that he's not going to be world class, but if I can just get him a little bit better than that, because that's a decent Premier League player. That's a bottom level Premier League player, if we're serious. Joseph McLeod scored a lot of goals this year from corners. We switched our corners up a little bit and we did end up scoring more, which was really nice to see. Dylan Thompson, though, was the breakout this season. He's been absolutely unbelievable. I'm going to show you him now. There he is. He's just become a wonder kid. This is the level of development that you get if you're going to get a truly world-class player. It's as simple as that. Like, done it on the right-hand side. He stagnated despite playing Premier League football with a good personality. Massive red flag. I'll say it yet again. Dylan Thompson, good personality, played a lot of games, improved ridiculous amounts. That is when you know someone's got high potential. And done it and Greatrix is when you know someone's got not as high potential or they're very close to their full potential. This guy was like the worst player at the start of the season in the starting 11. Now he's definitely in the top 3 or 4. Speaking about done it, here he is. He's slightly got better this season. He's got a little bit faster, which is nice. He is steadily, very steadily progressing. And I'm going to keep playing him because Odomosu's now nearly 30. So done it is going to keep playing. That's not a problem. But if we can get to a situation where we can get a right winger who is really good, or we're talking like the Thompson level or Bennett or not Brothers because that's too hard to ask, but someone on those levels on the right wing, Dunnett can be backup and he can play either side. That would be very ideal, but for right now, he's a starter. Shout out as well to Ryan Sturton. Not mentioned him in a while because he's not improved in a while, but he plays almost every single game, every single season, and he's now worth over 100 million. He is a very good player. He's 6 foot, but his physicals are very nice. He dominates in midfield. He's strong. He can hold people off. He wins headers. He's got a bit of pace, got composure, passing, vision, technique, all 15 or above. He's our deep line playmaker, and he always averages over a 7. Coleman's another one we're looking at. Now, this guy is improving very, very fast. I played him at the end of the season just now, and he got 4 goals in about 6 games or something like that. He scored in the Champions League. He got 3 goals in the Premier League at the end of the season, I'm pretty certain. Now, he scored 2 or 3 anyway in the last couple of games. And I think this guy, going forward, is going to be in the starting 11. 100%. I don't know where yet. I don't know if he's going to go striker for Greatrix. I don't know if he's going to go right wing eventually. I overdone it, and I'm going to retrain him. Or he's going to go left wing, and Bennett can go up front. I don't know which one yet, because Bennett is a natural striker, and Coleman might be better on the left wing. Not sure just yet, but he's looking like next season he's going to do exactly what Thompson's done this season. Unfortunately, players like Ali Darkin haven't really improved. He's gone down to 4-star potential as well. It's what I feared, unfortunately. But it is what it is. It seems very difficult at the moment. to get players that are going to improve a lot with game time. They're just not seeming to improve. And again, like I said before, that's just a very clear sign of someone that's not actually going to become that good. Brandon Hoare is the exact same, the left back that I had such high hopes for. He started 15 matches this season, 6.8 average rating, so he's not played badly. But as you can see, he hasn't improved. And at the minute, he's actually getting worse. He's 18 now, so he's been here 2 seasons doing this. Now, the balanced personality is not helping, but even then, playing football in the Premier League, I would have expected him to get better. And also, his potential has now gone down from 5 to 4.5, which again is a sign that he's not going to become as good as I thought he was. It's a shame. It keeps happening. So I'm sort of trying to temper my expectations now, but it's the nature of the beast. And that is where we're at. If you liked the video, please leave a like on it. It helps the channel. It helps new people come in to watch, and we can get more discussion and more eyes on the Youth Academy Challenge. Leave a subscription on the channel as well, because about 60% of you guys that are watching are still not subscribed, so please hit the button. And until next time, as always, I'll catch you then. Goodbye.